Hey guys, Jeremy Pan, blah, blah, blah. Saturday Special. This is the start of our Saturday Special. The weather is great, and that's why we're barbecuing. Yep.
That's the intro. Got it.
Hey guys, Jeremy here from School of Wok. Welcome to my home. Just in time for the British summer, this series is all about barbecuing and cooking on fire. A lot of you probably didn't know that I love to cook on coal. This week, we're on lemongrass pork chops on the barbie. It's so hot today that all my stuff is kind of either melting or drying within about seconds. So my pork chops are cooking over here. Forget the barbecue, I'm done. We're doing a lemongrass pork chops. I'm going to start with some garlic, some ginger. You can use galangal if you like, if you can get hold of it, but ginger's absolutely fine too. I quite like mine nice and garlicky, so I've got 3 or 4 cloves of garlic here. Everything sort of roughly chopped or finely chopped is fine, you know, it's barbecue cooking, nice and easy, and it's a Saturday, so relax. I love the feeling of cooking outside because even for short people like me, outdoor tables are always too short. It just makes it feel more rustic, doesn't it? So a roughly chopped garlic. Some ginger. Same again, just roughly chopped. And galangal would be more classic and has I guess, more citrusy flavour to a dish like this than ginger. But either or, it always tastes good. And I've actually got my own little kaffir lime tree here. It's never really given me any limes, but it's fantastic for the leaves. So I'm going to pick off a couple of these leaves of my lime leaf tree, and literally like 5 or 6 of these leaves will completely change the flavour of this marinade. I haven't even cut it yet and I can smell that fresh citrus flavour. Whoa. Definitely rustic. My ramekins are singing to me. Just turn those and give them a rough chop through as well. Got my lemongrass. I've got 2 bashed and finely chopped stalks of lemongrass there. So you want a bit of lime zest. And again, if you can get hold of kaffir limes, like fresh kaffir limes, that adds quite a distinct flavour as well. But this is a little bit more mass market, this recipe. Let's make sure everyone can make it. The only other thing is, if you want it a little spicy, then some finely chopped chilli. I'm not going to go over spicy with this, so I'm just going to use half a chilli, but you can use however much you want. And then fish sauce, a couple of tablespoons of fish sauce, and go into that. I'm actually going to make a glaze with some ketchup, mayonnaise, and some honey and the lime juice. So I'm not going to sweeten this marinade up, I'm just going to keep it nice and salty. So the glaze, just take your lime and squeeze that, and the lime juice should be the sort of the lighter liquid in this glaze so that it doesn't just go too sticky too quickly. And we'll use this to brush over the pork chops when they're sort of just finishing, get that last caramelized, smoky flavour around the meat. I feel a little bit like Keith Floyd today. Just need a big glass of wine. I've got your very runny honey from this beautiful summer's day, and ketchup mayonnaise, which looks like a caramelized dark soy sauce. Oh, look at that. Guaranteed to taste good. 3 ingredients: lime juice, honey, ketchup mayonnaise. Really easy. Give that a stir. Right, now onto the pork. I've actually got pork chops on the bone here with the skin on. I'm actually going to keep the skin on because that level of fat, whether you want to eat it or not, will keep the moisture of the actual meat really sort of inside the meat itself. So it'll keep it really nice and moist. I'm going to score through the meat of the chop in diagonal actions to allow as much of that flavour of the sauce and the marinade to go into the chop itself. So once you've scored it all, then you want to give it a good bash. And I actually use the other side of my cleaver for this. This just sort of tenderises the meat nicely. You see this sort of dai pai dongs in Hong Kong, the streets of Hong Kong, when they're doing like deep fried pork chop buns and things like that. This is what they do to the meat. Next up, your marinade. So because we've got the glaze going on top of that as well, what you want to do is just sort of rub your fish sauce marinade over your pork chops. Although fish sauce is quite strong, it should be a lightly sort of covered marinade, and then we'll get that caramelization from the glaze later on. Most importantly, try not to leave any of that good stuff in the tray. Make sure it's well sort of massaged around the meat. So my pork chops pretty much ready to go. You could leave those in the fridge covered overnight. They'd pack in all that flavour and sort of develop their own sort of natural flavour in that combination, but I'm hungry, so I'm going to cook it now. So I've got my coal in the barbecue on either side of the actual barbie, and that's just so that I get a nice sear and I can cook my meat through, but I don't burn it straight away because I do want this to cook nicely. Cover that, let it cook. So 5-6 minutes, and then we're going to turn them. So pork chops have had about 5 minutes or so, and you can see, even not on the coal, how nicely they colour. So I'm going to start to add the glaze to that. Really go generous on this glaze. And I don't want to overcook this, so once you start to add your glaze, you're going to use that sort of direct heat from here on in to get a good char on the pork chops. So straight over the coal now. Obviously when I turn the pork chops, then you're going to get a really good caramelized finish. You want to brown both sides first. So with the fat on there, it will start to flame up quite quickly. So you want to glaze it, glaze it, turn it. And that is how to get a really nice sort of perfect charring rather than just burnt. So you have to be quite quick with this. So I'm just dabbing that excess glaze onto the chops. As soon as it starts firing up, just turn that around again and get the bits that aren't charred on that fire. You do really need to sort of understand the heat when you're barbecuing things and you want to get that perfect finish. You can't just leave things on there and kind of expect them to do what you want them to do. Especially at this last sort of caramelizing phase. And that pork chop there is pretty much done. But I just want to get a bit more char on it. So if you want that last char in the right place, place it in the right place. Put a little bit of that sauce over the top. Oh yes. Don't want to overcook this, so they're pretty much there. Straight back into the middle to stop cooking. A little bit of that last bit of flame. my chops. Great colour, look at that. Of course, this is not all just for me. Barbecue pork chops with a nice ketchup mayonnaise glaze. Of course, if you're just having this, you could have some salad. I'm going for the crispier one. You could have some salad or slaw over the top, and you could just have this on your plate yourself, but just have a little taste of that. That is absolutely heavenly. It's got a really good savoury flavour. Tint of lime, lemongrass and lime leaf really stand out as well, but it's sort of based into the pork. If you like this recipe and you want to see more of our Saturday specials or Wok Wednesdays, don't forget to subscribe to our channel.